Hi, I'm Faux Pro Andi Crenshaw. In the following video, I'm going to cover the steps to help you have the fastest and most complete results on your painting project. Even though prep is not the most fun part of the job, it is one of the most important. What I'm going to cover is things like filling holes and taping and primers and all that good stuff. If you are not a pro, haven't done projects like this before, then it's going to be invaluable information to you to help your job be easy and help your results last for years to come. If you are a pro and you already know how to prep for the job, you might still find some helpful hints in the video that will help you to make your job a little bit easier. So don't skip it. Hi, and welcome to Cabinet and Furniture Prep. As faux finishers, cabinets are one of the biggest requests that we have. It saves a lot of money for people to do their cabinets, to refinish them, as opposed to replacing them or trying to do something else that's heavy construction as well. So what we've done today is we've chosen to come into a bathroom and show you how to prepare cabinets or furniture for refinishing or repainting on this vanity. And the vanity is a great place to start, especially if you're going to do something in your own home, as your kitchen probably has a lot of cabinets and can be a very big project. Starting with something like this is a great idea to really test the waters and get used to the process. So what we did today is we had a couple of different samples to choose from. We knew we wanted to go with a rich brown color or something like that, a little more dated looking or antique, if you will, than what is on here, which is just the basic factory cabinet. So we had a couple of different things to choose from here, and we thought maybe this was a little dark, this was a little light, so we wanted to go with something a little more medium. This has more of an aged look to it, and as you can tell on this sample right here, which you can also do with your kit, when you choose a finish of your own with your kit, you can tape off a corner so that you can tell what that cabinet looked like before. This is before, and this is after. I like this a lot better. Okay, so we made our selection and we're sure about that. We want to make this look like this. However, I'm not crazy about these handles that we have here, the knobs, for this finish. So we chose these instead. Oil rub bronze or anything like that can update a cabinet a lot, especially if you're going to change the finish. So once we take these off, we're going to replace them with these. Okay, to remove these handles is very simple. And all you need is a Phillips head screwdriver or a drill. In my case, I like the drill a lot better. This is a lot faster, especially if you have a lot of cabinets to do. Easy enough. Like I said, we chose another knob that goes back in the same place after we refinish these. I could have chosen something that has 2 holes and will require 2 screws. In that case, once we've removed our doors, we're going to want to drill another hole in this door so that we have another spot for the screw and we can put these types of handles on. The reverse is true as well. If it already has 2 holes and you want to go to just 1, then when we prepare our doors, we'll fill the bottom hole with our wood putty, and then we'll have that filled, and since you're painting over it and sanding and finishing and all the steps that we're going to go through to prepare this, that won't even be there. It'll be as if it was never there, and you'll have 1 hole left for 1 very nice knob. Now what we want to do is remove our doors, and every set of doors and hinges is a little bit different. So these, being fairly new, are inside hinges or hidden hinges, sometimes even known as European hinges, and they're adjustable. And a lot of hinges that are adjustable, you want to make as few changes as possible so that when you go back to rehang your doors, you don't have so many adjustments to do. So we're going to remove these 2 screws and take the door off of this section right here, which doesn't make any change in our hinge. We're going to leave it on here. It makes it a lot easier when you go to put the doors back. Now, a lot of times on a set of doors, where they're up high or you're on the second level in a kitchen, you're going to need a second set of hands for that so that one of you can be removing the screws and someone else can be holding that door so it doesn't fall. Remember, safety is always most important. So this one came right off. Sometimes this part of the hinge is a little tighter in this hole and you do have to close the door and pull from the back side right where those hinges are to get the door off. But once these screws are out, everything else is free to be removed. Now, here is the biggest trick of all. You have to number your doors. It seems like they would go on very easily once they're off, but that's never the case. Someone took a lot of time to hang them and make them level and make everything look nice. So what you want to do is be able to go back to exactly what they did before with the least amount of work. So take a piece of painter's tape and a Sharpie that's not blue because blue doesn't show up, and number them. And you can start anywhere, wherever you start, just make it very easy on yourself. This would be a 1 since it's the first door we're going to do. Now if you have uppers and lowers in a kitchen, the easiest thing to do is to say maybe U1 for upper or L1 for lower, so that it's a lot easier. You don't have quite so many numbers in a kitchen. Sometimes they'll have up to 50 doors in a kitchen, and it's very hard to find all of those numbers. So make it as easy on yourself as possible. Now how are we going to match this door to this spot after we paint this? Because we don't want to paint our number. So what we're going to do is we're going to number it in a spot that's not going to get painted, right here. And then we're going to take a piece of painter's tape and cover that number. Because if we spray these doors, or even if we hand paint them, this number would be covered up if it didn't have a piece of tape over it. Once we've completely finished our doors, all we have to do is peel this piece of tape off to reveal the number and put it back exactly where it goes. Now there's another type of hinge as well, and this one is really more common, especially if you're replacing something that is a little bit older. These are outside hinges, and how they are is like this on the cabinet base. They'll have 2 screws here that create 2 holes in the cabinet base. So on the back side, when you open your cabinet, you see something more like this. So to remove these doors, what you're going to do is remove the 2 screws that are attached right here first, and the 2 at the bottom, and then you're going to be able to pull off the door and remove the entire hinge by removing this one as well. If you're going to spray or even paint your cabinets, you do need to take this hinge completely off so that you don't get any paint on there. Now, if you don't like the gold, or if you're replacing your knobs and you want your hinges to match, these are very easy to change. They have many, many hinges in other colors that match the knobs so that you can replace them without having to fill the holes and change the hinge altogether. So just take your old hinge to your local hardware store or home improvement store and get something that's the color you want that has the same hole places. Like, see how these line up right here? So all I'm going to do then is replace the gold with the oil rubbed bronze, and then it matches my knob. Here's another great tip to make your job easier. When you take out the screws for your doors, in this section, then just take all 8 of those screws, lay them down, and all it takes is a couple of pieces of painter's tape to cover those up completely. And that's a lot easier when you come back to replace your doors to find them. You're not painting inside here more than likely, so this is a great place to keep them.